Random House Audio presents The Tiger, a true story of vengeance and survival. Written and read by John Vaillant.
In the taiga there are no witnesses. V.K. Arseniev, Dersu the Trapper. No easy bargain would be made in that place by any man. Beowulf. Prologue. Hanging in the trees as if caught there is a sickle of a moon. Its wan light scatters shadows on the snow below, only obscuring further the forest that this man negotiates now as much by feel as by sight. He is on foot and on his own save for a single dog which runs ahead, eager to be heading home at last. All around, the black trunks of oak, pine, and poplar soar into the dark above the scrub and deadfall, and their branches form a tattered canopy overhead. Slender birches, whiter than the snow, seem to emit a light of their own, but it is like the coat of an animal in winter, cold to the touch and for itself alone. All is quiet in this dormant, frozen world. It is so cold that spit will freeze before it lands, so cold that a tree, brittle as straw and unable to contain its expanding sap, may spontaneously explode. As they progress, man and dog alike leave behind a wake of heat, and the contrails of their breath hang in pale clouds above their tracks. Their scent stays close in the windless dark, but their footfalls carry, and so, with every step, they announce themselves to the night. Despite the bitter cold, the man wears rubber boots better suited to the rain. His clothes, too, are surprisingly light, considering that he's been out all day, searching. His gun has grown heavy on his shoulder, as have his rucksack and cartridge belt. But he knows this route like the back of his hand, and he is almost within sight of his cabin. Now, at last, he can allow himself the possibility of relief. Perhaps he imagines the lantern he will light, and the fire he will build. Perhaps he imagines the burdens he will soon lay down. The water in the kettle is certainly frozen, but the stove is thinly walled, and soon it will glow fiercely against the cold and dark, just as his own body is doing now. Soon enough there will be hot tea and a cigarette, followed by rice, meat, and more cigarettes, maybe a shot or two of vodka, if there is any left. He savors this ritual and knows it by rote. Then, as the familiar angles take shape across the clearing, the dog collides with a scent as with a wall and stops short, growling. They are hunting partners, and the man understands. Someone is there by the cabin. The hackles on the dog's back and on his own neck rise together. Together they hear a rumble in the dark that seems to come from everywhere at once. Part 1. Markov. Chapter 1. There are many people who don't believe this actually happened. They think it's some phantasm of my imagination. But it was real. There are the facts. Yuri Anatolievich Trush. Shortly after dark, on the afternoon of December 5th, 1997, an urgent message was relayed to a man named Yuri Trush at his home in Luchagorsk, a mid-sized mining town in Primoria territory in Russia's Far East, not far from the Chinese border. Primoria is, among other things, the last stronghold of the Siberian tiger, and the official on the line had some disturbing news. A man had been attacked near Sobolinya, a small logging community located in the deep forest, 60 miles northeast of Luchagorsk. Yuri Trush was the squad leader of an inspection tiger unit, one of 6 in the territory whose purpose was to investigate forest crimes, specifically those involving tigers. Because poachers were often involved, these included tiger attacks. As a result, this situation, whatever it might entail, was now Trush's problem, and right away he began preparing for the trip to Sobolina. Early the following morning, Saturday, Yuri Trush, along with his squad mates, Alexander Gorborukov and Sasha Lazarenko, piled into a surplus army truck and rumbled north. Dressed in insulated fatigues and camouflage, and armed with knives, pistols, and semi-automatic rifles, the Tigers, as these inspectors are sometimes called, looked less like game wardens than like some kind of wilderness SWAT team. Their 20-year-old truck was nicknamed a Kong, and it was the Russian Army's 4-ton equivalent to the Unimog and the Humvee. Gasoline-powered, with a winch, 4-wheel drive, and wide, waist-high tires, it is a popular vehicle in Primoria's hinterlands. Along with a gun rack and brackets for extra fuel cans, this one had been modified to accommodate makeshift bunks and was stocked with enough food to last 4 men a week. It was also equipped with a wood stove, so that even in the face of total mechanical failure, the crew could survive no matter where in the wilderness they happened to be. After passing through the police checkpoint on the edge of town, the Tigers continued on up to a dirt road turnoff that led eastward along the Bikin River, a large and meandering waterway that flows through some of the most isolated country in northern Primoria. The temperature was well below freezing, and the snow was deep, and this slowed the heavy truck's progress. It also allowed these men, all of whom were experienced hunters and former soldiers, many hours to ponder and discuss what might be awaiting them. It is safe to say that nothing in their experience could have prepared them for what they found there. Primoria, which is also known as the Maritime Territory, is about the size of Washington State. Tucked into the southeast corner of Russia by the Sea of Japan, it is a thickly forested and mountainous region that combines the backwoods claustrophobia of Appalachia with the frontier roughness of the Yukon. Industry here is of the crudest kind: logging, mining, fishing, and hunting, all of which are complicated by poor wages, corrupt officials, thriving black markets, and some of the world's largest cats. One of the many negative effects of perestroika and the reopening of the border between Russia and China has been a surge in tiger poaching. As the economy disintegrated and unemployment spread throughout the 1990s, professional poachers, businessmen, and ordinary citizens alike began taking advantage of the forest's wealth in all its forms. The tigers, because they are so rare and so valuable, have been particularly hard hit. Their organs, blood, and bone are much sought after for use in traditional Chinese medicine. Some believe the tiger's whiskers will make them bulletproof, and that its powdered bones will soothe their aches and pains. Others believe its penis will make them virile, and there are many, from Tokyo to Moscow, who will pay thousands of dollars for a tiger's skin. Between 1992 and 1994, approximately 100 tigers, roughly 1/4 of the country's wild population, were killed. Most of them ended up in China. With financial assistance and pressure from international conservation agencies, the territorial government created Inspection Tiger in the hope of restoring some semblance of law and order to the forests of Primoria. Armed with guns, cameras, and broad police powers, these teams were charged with intercepting poachers and resolving a steadily increasing number of conflicts between tigers and human beings. In many ways, Inspection Tiger's mandate resembles that of detectives on a narcotics detail, and so does the risk. The money is big, and the players are often desperate and dangerous individuals. Tigers are similar to drugs in that they are sold by the gram and the kilo, and their value increases according to the refinement of both product and seller. But there are some key differences. Tigers can weigh 600 pounds. They have been hunting large prey, including humans, for 2 million years, and they have a memory. For these reasons, tigers can be as dangerous to the people trying to protect them as they are to those who would profit from them. The territory covered by Yuri Trush's Inspection Tiger unit in the mid-1990s was centered on the Bikin River. You can drive a truck on the Bikin in winter, but in summer it has a languid bayou feel. For many of the valley's jobless inhabitants, the laws imposed by the river and the forest are more relevant than those of the local government. While most
Sample complete. Ready to continue?